Hi friends, Miss Ellen here with Lighthearted Learning. Hope you're doing well. Today I have a story called Over in the Meadow for you. Over in the Meadow. And it's by John Langstaff. This is the second book I've done of John Langstaff. I also did Froggy Went A-Courtin'. So we're going to talk about a meadow today and 3 other land habitats that animals can live in. Meadow, 2 syllables, meadow. Excuse me. Meadow, 2 syllables. It's a grassland. It's an open area with lots of grass. There can be many different types of grasslands. Meadow is one of them. There can be a tundra, a plain, a savanna. Those are all different types of grasslands, all right? So places, they don't have a lot of trees, maybe a bush here and there, but primarily it's grasses, meadow, okay? Let's talk about a desert, and also a 2-syllable word. It's an arid place, which means dry, and it's not very hospitable to other things living there because it is so dry. It doesn't have a lot of precipitation, which means water that comes out of the sky, such as rain. Okay, so desert is another land form, habitat that animals can live in, land habitat. Here's another one, mountain, also a 2-syllable word. And a mountain is a stretch of land that has a big steep hill that comes out of it, steeper than just your average hill. It's a great big incline, all right? And there are animals that can live in this land habitat as well. Mountain, okay, and then the last one is also a 2-syllable word. It's forest, and this is a noun as well. And it's an area that is dominated by trees. Now there can be several different kinds of forests. There can be a deciduous forest, there can be a fir forest. Deciduous would be the trees that drop their leaves. A fir is like pine trees. And there can be a rainforest. You've probably heard about that. So there's more than one type of forest, but these are 4 primary. There's other ones as well, habitats. Land habitats that animals can live in that are around the world. They're all over. A meadow, a desert, a mountain, and a forest. The one we're going to sing about today is called a meadow. Now, this book has been very well loved, so you're going to see some scars in the book, but that doesn't mean Miss Ellen's going to throw it away because an old book is still a good book. So this one's called Over in the Meadow. Over in the meadow. And you'll see the animals in the meadow. Now sometimes they're just visiting the meadow, and sometimes they reside there permanently. So all the animals in the book don't stay there all the time. Sometimes they have a little den in the forest or someplace else, and they're just visiting the meadow during the daytime or the nighttime, depending on what kind of, when they're up, okay? All right, so this is Over in the Meadow. Over in the meadow, in the sand, in the sun, lived an old mother turtle and her little turtle one. Dig, said the mother, I dig, said the one. So he dug and was glad in the sand, in the sun. Over in the meadow where the tall grass grew, lived an old mother red fox and her little foxes too. Run, said the mother, we run, said the 2. So they ran and were glad where the tall grass grew. Over in the meadow, in the nest in the tree, lived an old mother robin and her little birdies 3. Sing, said the mother, we sing, said the 3. So they sang and were glad in their nest in the tree. Over in the meadow by the tall sycamore, lived an old mother chipmunk and her little chipmunks 4. Play, said the mother, we play, said the 4. So they played and were glad by the tall sycamore. Over in the meadow in a new little hive, lived an old mother queen bee and her honey bees 5. Hum, said the mother. We hum, said the five. So they hummed and were glad in their new little hive. Over in the meadow in a dam built of sticks lived an old mother beaver and her little beavers 6. Build, said the mother, we build, said the 6. So they built and were glad in the dam built of sticks. Over in the meadow in the green wet bogs lived an old mother froggy and her 7 pollywogs. Swim, said the mother, we swim, said the wogs. So they swam and were glad in the green wet bogs. Over in the meadow as the day grew late lived an old mother owl and her little owls 8. Wink, said the mother, we wink, said the 8. So they winked and were glad as the day grew late. Over in the meadow in a web on the pine lived an old mother spider and her little spiders 9. Spin, said the mother, we spin, said the 9. So they spun and were glad in the web on the pine. Over in the meadow in a warm little den lived an old mother rabbit and her little bunnies 10. Hop, said the mother, we hop, said the 10. So they hopped and were glad in their warm little den. And that's the end. Watch out for the owl. And here John Langston staff has put all the words and the music to Over in the Meadow. And you may hear other versions of this song, boys and girls, because it's a type of folk song or ballad that has been passed down. So you'll hear other versions of this song as well. Now remember our landforms. We had the meadow and the desert and the mountain and the forest. All right, boys and girls, until next time.